Hey, it's been a while, things got a bit busy, but still found time to hunt down this watch that I've been after for a long time and find a good condition example. This is an Omega Constellation from 1968, so it's nearly 60 years old. It's the C-case variant in solid 18 karat gold, and I've been watching Chrono 24 for years to find one of these in the right condition at the right price point. So I wanted to share this with you, and if you're hunting yourself, this is what a good example looks like in terms of condition, in my opinion. I won't claim it's fully unpolished, but it's 60 years old and I think it's had a relatively easy life, should we say. So let's start with the case, right? This is what makes the C case, the design of it. When it sits on the wrist, that slight, that side of the case being curved is a really nice appeal. The thing you want to look at on these cases is the bevel in here, right, between the brushed finish, right, the original radial factory finish here, which is not perfect on this one, but it's close. But then I've always found the best tell is right here on the lugs. Can you see that definition, that line that sits there, that defines the bottom of the lug and the side of the case? You find many examples where that's completely disappeared. So when they go back to Omega for a refinish, they refinish these side chamfers, but they quite often cut it straight down. So you'll have a curve that goes straight from that point all the way up. And you see when they came from the factory, they had this slight almost like a step. Same on the top here, you can see you still get that flat bit just there. You can see from behind the lug, you see there the difference in the surfaces. This one's it's in the configuration that I was looking for, which is with the black hands and the black markers. What else can we talk about? I'm not sure if it'll pick it up, but oh yeah, there you see it. You see the Omega original crystal. So that's printed on the underside of the plastic. A really nice aging to the colour of the date wheel. This has got the 564 movement in, which it's got an interesting way of setting the date. You pull the crown out, which still works. I think that's the original crown. Again, I mean, it's in very good condition. And then if we turn it over, again, this is another area where people often look for the condition of these. If you look at the observatory there, notice the best place to look is on the bottom wall of the observatory. You see how there's a slight dimpling around it, and then it goes into the flat wall of the observatory. That almost always disappears on these, especially on the softer gold versions. I mean, of course, you also see the stars being well defined. They often go very quickly. So that's one of the things you should be looking for. I mean, again, of course, like things like the hallmarks there for the gold. This one's got an additional mark here. I'm not sure we can pick it up on the lug. It's scratched into the lug. It says something like 33 out of 536. So maybe that's the... It would be strange for Omega to write how many of these they made, but hey, I don't know the history of the watch. And then, again, this bracelet is the original bracelet, and it's also solid 18 karat gold. So this thing weighs like 125 grams. Some of the markings we can look at on the clasp. You see there it says, I think it's 1061/11 or H. And then you've got the Omega logo and the gold stamp. I'll show you what it looks like on wrist. So I've got about a 17 centimeter wrist on my right hand. And one thing you should be aware of with these, of course, is you can't adjust them apart from in the clasp there. So I'm wearing this all the way in there. I mean, the one thing to say is the clasp is not it's had a ding right. Some of the original finishing on the clasp is still present, but it's pretty scratched up. But the Amiga logo is still very clear. So I think it's been worn but just never polished. But yes, I've got this set as small as I can go, and my right wrist is quite bigger than my left wrist, so I can only really wear this on my right wrist, which is about 16.5, 17 centimeters. You see it wears really nice, like 34, 35 wide, but because of that longer case, it's really got a good amount of wrist presence. And then another thing that's quite special about these is the dial, right? If you get one of these dials that's stamped OM, I'll butcher the translation, but something like O Massif, it's like solid gold. So this dial is actually gold. You can see the linen texture that's been created on the dial by Amiga. And then the strap itself is, it's very nice, supple. It's quite thick. And there's a profile of the watch down the wrist, right? So that gives it almost like an optical illusion of thinking that the watch is only 4 or 5 mil thick when actually it's about 8 mil, especially with the stepped acrylic. Well, leave it with a wrist roll. Any questions about this or any additional thing you want to see, let me know. And maybe one thing to mention is at the moment with the gold prices, you're probably looking at £5,000 worth of gold here, so that is also, there is almost like a floor where prices won't fall beneath on these. If you can find a good condition one, I think it's a good buy, and they're also lovely to wear.